Hey all, Board Game Rants here, but you'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more Dice Settlers with the expansion Western Sea. We're going to take a look in this box. We're going to learn a little bit about what this modular expansion has to offer. Here we go. Now the glare should go away after I get the plastic off of this, but very quickly, Dice Settlers Western Sea, the expansion to this game here that I didn't really take to. It is designed by David Turczi, who I adore for all the solo variants. In fact, right now I'm over here playing Trickerion with the Air, the AI, the bot system designed by David Turczi to be able to play Trickerion solo. This is his own design game, but it didn't have enough meat for my personal tastes. But I did appreciate how the solo variant was created. It was, of course, very innovative, as most David Turczi's designs are. Dice Settlers, though, I am hoping is going to beef it up a bit. It's going to add those them extra calories I'm looking for in a game. And another cool thing about this, too, is the art. Probably not going to say it right, but Mahajlo Dmitrievsky. This is the individual who does the art for the North Sea, or Architects of the West Kingdom, Paladins of the West Kingdom, which I just recently gotten into. I like this kind of art. It's just beautiful, and it just pops. And let's go ahead and rip into this and talk about some components. Okay, we got the lid off here, and we're gonna hop right into it here. Oh, that didn't stay. And let's see here. So yes, we have these tents. It's actually nothing on the box about these, but it comes with if you got the deluxe version of Dice Settlers, which I do not have, instead of little blocks for the tents, it actually has tents for tents. So there's probably going to be, yep, there's the purple ones. So hey, at least I can, play in style with 5 tents, and then the rest in cube. I guess this just adds to your existing deluxe edition. Where are the other ones? There should be another set here, right? Maybe not. Oh, yeah, black ones. There they are. Okay. So, now, and then we got some extra bags. We've got a scoring pad, which looks like it's going to take into account some of the new stuff that you can score on with. Because there's 4 modules in here, 4 expansion modules you can add in separately or all together. But from a solo standpoint, there's one module in here that has no way to use that. I believe it's called Envoys, and so I'm not really even going to talk about that one as we get to it. Here's little ships for the Fish and Ships expansion, which seems to be the big one in this expansion. So we will take a look at that later. More empty bags. So we got the dice. So in the Fish and Chips modular expansion, we're going to get these blue dice to roll, which is going to be cool. And here's the, standard version tents, which come in cute little block size things there. Don't look like tents at all, but whatever. And then, so this is going to be for another one of the modular expansions. I'll remember what it's called later. And then here's the big dice. These guys you get to roll with the Fish and Chips expansion. If you find a particular island, it allows you to have, or I don't know if it's an island, but a tile. Then you get to draw or roll this bad guy. What am I trying to say? Bad boy. Goodness gracious. More coffee, please. Let's see here. We've got the deck of cards. So we've got a lot more of these technologies here, and that does seem to be one thing that's going to be, I don't want to say difficult to incorporate, but it's like, add this card if you're doing this. You should add this if it's your first game, but don't add this if it's your, 3rd or 7th game. But on Mondays, it's kind of one of those things that it just seems like it's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but I'll bet you once I just kind of zero in on just how I want to play this game, which is probably going to always be with the Fish and Chips, always going to be with, there's an asymmetrical thing here that allows you to start essentially not with a hero, but, same sort of idea. At the beginning of the game, you start off with somebody that gives you a power. It's called, I will remember here in a second. So, okay, here's all of our, this is a pretty good size booklet too. 24 pages. I want to say that might even be bigger than the normal rule book, which maybe I'll bust into and we'll take a look there. But it's certainly adds a lot to the game, this expansion. And then here's the solo components here. And the solo, again, can only be, advisors, that's what it's called. So the advisors is one of the modular expansions that allows you to, you start off with a character, which allows you to basically take your let's go through it, shall we? So Envoys is the first one that's on here. Now Envoys I don't know anything about, because as I went through it online, I found out solo support, the Envoys module is not supported for solo play. So I was like, away with you, Envoys. So can't tell you anything about that. But Enclosures looks like it's pretty easy adaptation, and you can use this solo, but the AI Dysoneer does not really do anything with Enclosures, so it just makes the game a little easier. So Enclosures is basically a way to like get points for developing your as you explore, and as long as you have some presence on tiles that are in a certain pattern, you can score points for them. So you'll draw cards that'll have those patterns, and then if you go for them, you can get extra points at the end of the game. Solo support, it just says, well, you should probably just increase the bot's difficulty, making it score 2 or 3 points to kind of make up for that. So that's how that's going to be dealt with the Envoys, or yeah, not Envoys, Enclosures. Advisors. So here's one of the cool meaty looking things. I love the idea of drawing, the general or spy master or whatever, and having sort of a certain power and ability to change, in the case of the general, change your pioneer icons into explore actions, change your explore actions into whatever that one's called, where you attack. And each one of these does that. It'll take the pioneer and the explore action and allow you to convert it into a different type of action. And then they have their own special power. And you're going to get an advisor die. And then if you ever roll the little character, you can use the power on your advisor. So that's cool. It adds some fun stuff, a lot of different things to be able, and there's chief of staff, so new technology will be adding in. And the advisor or the solo does incorporate the advisor nicely into it. In fact, it's pretty in depth. So after it's talking about how to do it all, solo support. So the Dysoneer, the bot, is going to get their own pink die, and it's going to incorporate it very easily, very nicely into the system, the AI system here. And then it's got all sorts of stuff. So for each individual advisor, depending on which one the bot gets, it's going to have, it's going to utilize its little action in its own AI bot manner, and that's all laid out here. Very cool. So that's 3 out of 4 of the modulars expansions here can be used in solo. And here's the big one. This is the doozy. This is the one I'm pretty much most excited about. I'm pretty excited for that too, and this seems pretty easy to implement. But this is the big, cool, adds lots of stuff. It's going to add ships that you can explore with now, and these treasure dice that you can roll that'll just give you lots more options. You're going to have a new resource here with the fish tokens, and a whole heck of a lot more technologies. And then the solo is incorporated with its own little bit of stuff there, and you're going to have blue dice to roll. Very cool. And so setting everything up, and again, here's where it's like, shuffle this, but don't recommend including this, but as down different there, boo. Very first game, we recommend selecting ingenuity instead of picking randomly. And so anyway, it seems like there's a little to get through to get the whole thing up and running, but once you do, and it does this, I guess this particular modular, the rule from the base game stating that each action may only be taken once per round will become much more important when using this module, as there are many more ways of gaining additional action. So that's cool. As you're exploring, you're going to find, during setup, you're going to place this little port tile in your stack of tiles, and as you explore, it'll be the 6th one down, and once you reveal it, you have the option of starting this port, and then it's going to kind of work its way this way and work its way that way, as you shall see, and it'll kind of look like that. So there was the port tile, and then you're going to add kind of a boundary, if you will, on this side and on this side, and you're going to fill it in with flipped over sea tiles, so you get to not only you get to explore and find cool islands or new abilities and stuff, and then you've got these seaside hexes on the side, And on the right side, and the lighthouses allow you to convert different your ships into different actions. And let's see here, shore tiles. Yeah, that's what those ones that have the got some extra points that can be had. There are all sorts of cool stuff. The port terrain type is shore, and shore is a new terrain type. And action, so sailing. So this is what's going to allow you, once you find the port, and as long as you have presence on there, you get your ship, and then you can start sailing down the shoreline, or you can go out and explore here in the open sea and find all sorts of cool stuff. Find island tiles and water tiles, which give you extra actions, and then just straight up things that just give you extra resources or tents. And then you got your treasure die, which you can rule. And during the roll phase, you just spend basically almost any symbol, and then it allows you to roll your treasure die once you've found this island. So first you got to find that particular island, and then once you have presence on it, then you can have that and roll it during the beginning of the round. And let's see here, and then the solo support, here it is. So this is quite a bit to it on this one. As far as the solo support, and you know, the rules start there, and then they continue on here, and you got another little thing here to kind of keep track of. And as you roll to see what the bot is going to do, you're going to have to be mindful of this to see if it takes an extra sailing action. And then a sailing action, it's got a little way that it's going to explore in particular, and then kind of loop around, and it'll take advantage of, it looks like, pretty much everything. So that's pretty awesome. There's not a ton, actually, to incorporate the AI. It's just this side, and then here's the rules, and over here it just says adjusting difficulty. So there we go, and then we're at the end. We got the appendices here, solo game reference there, very nice. And, okay, let's take a quick look at the stuff in here as well. So we got a couple punch boards here. There's the, so we got some more of these to be able to put on your technologies and on tiles as you utilize actions or whatever. Here's your fish for your resources. I don't know, is that just an extra one-player marker, or maybe it has to do with envoys, who knows? And then here are the fish and chips tiles there, and all their little extra ability stuff. Those are double-sided, these ones, so that when you find the port and you lay these out, you can actually choose which side you want to use. Kind of cool. And then here, the last little bit, we've got, again, for the AI, a little thing to keep track there, and that's an AI thing too. And then some more of the fish and chips stuff, pretty much mostly fish and chips stuff, and then the rest of the modular expansion stuff is going to have a lot to do with these cards and technologies. So there we have it. That is what I'm going to be looking forward to digging into as I learn how to play Dice Settlers Western Sea along with the original game Dice Settlers. Until next time, I appreciate you watching on Board Game Rants, and I'm out.